see, obviously that hasn't been worked out yet, and last year was canceled. But we're hoping, along with the boat show being canceled, that some of these boating events are going to start to happen come the summer again. And this will be obviously a prime location for that.
Cabo has always been a huge venue during Outlaw Challenge weekend.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, due to the pandemic and COVID, we had to, it was canceled, so we didn't get the opportunity to have that here this year. But like I said, fingers crossed going into 2021.
I think 2021's a go, man. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So.
And like I said, whatever mandates we have to follow to be able to provide, that event, then we'll obviously meet them and do what we can to make it work, just like we're doing right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, one of my favorite point of differences that Cabo has that I'm not sure any other venue in this area has. You know where I'm going with this? Ping pong table.
Oh,
yeah, man.
We do have Monday ping pong tournaments.
Right.
And, it's a pretty popular event. I'm not good enough to enter into the competition, but it is fun to watch because these guys.
Wait, what night?
Monday nights.
Monday,
oh man,
yeah.
count me in.
I'm 99% sure you and I are playing ping pong when this show's over.
Yeah, I think
that much
so.
I know. That much I know.
Yeah, it's so funny. I had a ping pong table a lot of my life, and it's been many years. I'm definitely rusty, but I used to be decent. But I actually, again, like hanging out with my mom, my aunt showed up and they got to playing, and then my aunt made me play her, and it was it was a good time. I hadn't played ping pong with my mom and my aunt in probably 12 years, so that was fun, and that happened in Cabo.
Yeah.
So I mean, hey, rock on, man.
Nice. Playing ping pong,
bonding,
view the lake.
It's awesome. It was good. So.
It's funny you mentioned family. So I just recently had family in town for the holidays, obviously, and this was their first time coming up here.
Okay.
And brought my aunt and my uncle up here. Treated them, gave them the full tour, full menu, met all of our staff, and they were like, "This is," and they don't even live here. They live in Michigan and they live in Mississippi. And both of them were like, we don't have spots like this back home. Like, this is great. Like,
nice.
They were like, if we lived here, we'd be here every night.
That's a good feeling, to know that people appreciate it like that.
Man, we're definitely spoiled here along the waterfront capital of Texas.
We are. Yeah, we are.
So are we celebrating the recent trade of James Harden, or are we mourning that?
I'll be honest with you, I'm not the biggest basketball fan.
Yeah. Right. So you're either way.
I'm kind of indifferent towards it.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I haven't been following sports at all.
All right, I just saw some sports on the screen here, and for
I was thinking
years.
How many screens are in here?
Right. No, it's a great place to come watch sports. I cut the cord from cable and satellite years ago, and so this is one of my go-to places.
This is the spot for Astros.
Right.
This is the spot for Astros baseball.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I wore an Astros hat for like 2 years straight. It was crazy. Man, it had to come off though.
Anytime the Astros in the playoffs, it's a huge draw here. So, guys, if you're listening, our boys do good in the coming up season. You want to watch Astros play? Come on over here. We'll take care of y'all.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Yeah, there's probably a couple specials or something lined up with that, I'm sure. I feel like you gotta get everybody enticed in the whole deal. Some type of probably special on buckets. Watching the game. I mean, honestly, this is the place, like you said, where you can hang out for. You don't just come in here for a drink.
No.
You're coming in here, you're hanging out for a few hours, watching some sports, watching the lake, watching people pull up on boats, like whatever it is. That can be fun in itself.
Honestly, this place is almost like a time warp.
Right. Yeah.
I'm just going to come in, have a beer, have a bite to eat. Next thing you know, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. I had a blast.
I had lunch, I had dinner, and
had a great time.
Late night Taco Tuesday.
Cabo.
You told them about steak night, right?
Yes, our Thursday night is steak night.
Staying on Thursdays,
yes,
right?
that is not going anywhere. That is.
You guys got strips, or is it ribeye?
We do ribeye and fillets, and we also have a surf and turf option as well.
Oh,
and that's my
nice.
personal favorite.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
some guys like the surf and turf. Man.
I am a big fan of surf and turf.
I just go straight for the meat, man. Like I don't want the beef. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the lobster, but. You like lobster, John?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I love it.
Shrimp, crab, but I don't know, lobster is not. Yeah. You're like, damn,
I
hating on surf and turf.
I mean, I can eat my weight in shrimp though. So anytime I get a chance to have surf and turf, I'm here.
Boom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, somebody ordered either steak and shrimp or steak and lobster the other night. I was at a birthday party and it was like on special, and they grabbed it, man. It's definitely popular.
It is definitely our biggest draw for food during the week, and we look forward to it every week because we always see new faces. We always see old regulars, we see new regulars, and it's just a good night in general. It's just a real chill vibe.
And you got to have the seafood part of it, just being on the water.
Being right up, of course.
Yeah, so of course, yeah,
absolutely.
Trying to make everybody happy.
Yeah. Nice, man. What else, man?
So Air Force, huh? So,
Yes.
so where are you from originally?
I kind of grew up all over the Gulf Coast. I grew up in the Air Force. My dad was in the Air Force. I was born in Biloxi, Mississippi.
Okay.
Over at Keesler Air Force Base. Then we moved to Little Rock Air Force Base. Then we moved to San Antonio, where my dad retired at Randolph Air Force Base.
I was going to say Lackland or Randolph?
I was at Randolph.
I lived there for 7 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I used to drive by Randolph all the time.
Over by, you see like the big Taj Mahal looking building?
Oh, yeah.
So he was a lifer, huh?
Yes, sir. Yeah, he did about, I want to say right at 21 years.
Wow.
Man, respect.
Yeah, that's tough to
awesome.
do, man.
Yes, especially having 2 kids and a wife. It was
Right.
Yeah.
very challenging for everybody.
Sure.
Then we moved here in 2003, and this has been home ever since.
Okay.
Graduated high school in 2007 over at Clear Lake High School, so literally like right down the road. Joined the Air Force in 2007. That July, went all over the world, had a lot of good experiences, and actually just recently separated this past weekend from the reserves.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did about 8 years active duty and 6 years in the reserves. And
Respect.
yeah, it was a good time, man. It really was a good time. I just got to that point where I was ready to be away from it after being around it my entire life.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're all in for your entire life.
Pretty much, yeah.
Man, yeah, I still remember when I got my letter that said that I was released from inactive reserve or whatever, because people don't realize that, and I've told you about this maybe on the show, maybe off, but you join for 2, 4, 6, 8, whatever, you're in for 8. It doesn't matter, like you do 8, you just may not be active for the 8. So you got to wait for that letter 8 years later, and then you're not inactive reserve anymore. Otherwise,
they 2-year window. They can
call you back, man. Just like that, and then it's all the stop loss and stuff. But yeah, it's crazy. So once you've been in it, I'm sure you were ready to. You were done,
yes.
man.
Like I said, it was a great experience. It really was. It really molded me into the person I am today, and I'm very happy about that. Like I said, it's one of those things. When you've been around it as long as I was, it's like ready to see what else life has to offer.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you have a favorite airframe?
Probably the A-10.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely the A-10.
Well, when you said your dad retired in San Antonio, I think of General Douglas Owens, who's the head of the Lone Star Flight Museum, who's an A-10 pilot from stationed in San Antonio for years.
That makes sense.
Definitely.
Yeah, I've had him on my other show a couple times. Like to talk. He tells some really good A-10 stories. He was actually one of the first to take it in conflict in the first Gulf War back in I guess '91 or whenever it was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But I asked him, hey, did you ever worry about it stalling when you held on to that Gatling gun too long? He goes, well, the joke is you actually start going backwards if you hold on to it too long.
So, I was fortunate to see a couple attack runs in person.
Damn.
It was a awe-inspiring sight because you see them on the flight line all day. I was military police, so we guarded all the planes, and to actually see that airframe in action is incredible.
Wow.
It's such an awesome experience.
Well, and they say it's a ground troops' favorite plane, right? I mean, it's ground support. It's and they keep trying to retire it.
It's too good at what it does. They can't retire it.
Yeah. And I would argue it's actually for the future, especially for the wars we've been in most recently, it's a perfect airframe, right? I mean,
especially in Afghanistan.
Yeah,
where
I mean, it's not like
a lot of terrain is mountainous.
Yeah, it's not like ISIS has air-to-air combat. It's not like you're going to be F-15 on something else, right? You're going to be blowing up pickup trucks and stuff, right?
So this plane, I'm not an Air Force guy. I've been out for 10 years now. So I feel like I've heard of this, and I feel like some of the planes I know about that are discontinued. So I'm like picturing some, but explain kind of what this A-10 looks like and what it is. So
I'll yield to the Air Force guy.
Essentially, it is a tough airframe built around a 30 millimeter Gatling gun.
Is it the Warthog?
Warthog.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right. So I know what it is now.
Yeah.
So it's the Warthog. Yeah. That's sick. All right, now I'm tracking.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Straight wings. It
that
can
thing's
hang
awesome.
It can fly forever.
It's like a tank in the air, right?
Essentially,
Yeah,
you can blow an engine off; it'll still fly. You can blow half.
Dude, those are
it'll still
legit.
fly.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Good
there's
deal.
all kinds of stories
for
about
anyone else
taking
that didn't
unbelievable
know,
damage.
maybe look up Warthog or but yeah, this thing's an incredible aircraft. I watched actually like a a whole special on it. I mean, 30 minutes, an hour. It was like on that plane. It was cool. Yeah.
No, actually, I saw 2 land over at Ellington probably about 2 weeks ago. I mean, they're still active, man. They're still flying around. So yeah, it's a great airframe, very effective. So
it just goes to show if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right.
And when was the air show? That was what?
The air show. Well, this year, it's always the Wings Over Houston. I assume you're talking about at Ellington. It's always in October.
Okay,
this year it was kind of a drive through or drive up.
You said they did a good job with it.
No,
though, right?
they, I mean, man, they kept the show alive. I mean, obviously, considering all the challenges that we're all dealing with, especially any kind of event. I mean, it was actually the first major event. This was in October last year. First major event in Houston. You know, traditionally they have about 100,000 people come to Ellington for it's actually 2 days. Third day there's some special things on Friday, but no, great event. And they kept the show alive.
Dude, Ellington is such a cool, just its history and all the different things that have happened there, and just. Well, I had a buddy that worked there, pretty much his whole life, and taking ball players' bags off planes to sheiks to kings of countries. They all fly into Ellington, dignitaries.
That's where the president flies in.
It's so crazy. And then how there used to be flights to Intercontinental. It used to even have maybe commercial at one point. It's just had so much flip flop in military, regional. International dignitary. It's wild.
And it's
interesting airport. Yeah,
it's
right
all in our
here.
backyard,
We watch the planes fly over literally this building. All the time.
And it's also the newest FAA approved spaceport.
Oh man, that's super cool. I love it.
That happened a couple years ago, but what's really exciting within the last
building it.
last 10 days or so, Axiom Aerospace, which is a space startup. It's the former deputy director of the Johnson Space Center and the former head of the NASA International Space Station program. They went out, raised some venture capitalist money back in the day, started a company called Axiom Aerospace. They're building their own international space station. They're doing space tourism. They're bringing
San Jacinto College is getting involved.
Hundreds of jobs to the area. And they're one of many space startups. And of course. I could go. I could do 2-hour show on that, but that's not why we're here. But
so my only question is, when are we going to go to space?
Right,
man.
Like us personally,
let's go.
Right.
I'm ready,
man.
Yeah.
Need to raise some money.
Yeah. What's it going to cost, man? At first, you think?
Well, Virgin Galactic probably was the most economical option, and and they'll take you up. You'll go up in the plane that won the X Prize back in 2004, and. You'll have a couple minutes of waiting list. You'll see the curve of the Earth, but you'll technically get your astronaut wings. I think maybe $250,000, something like that. For a pretty quick ride. I mean, you're up and back. Within a couple hours.
You have to hit 80,000 feet or something.
Yeah, I forgot exactly what there's two different.
Or is it it's more like 70 something maybe, right? Does it even go to 80? You don't need to be. You're already floating in the 70s, right, or no?
Well, okay, yeah. Well, to leave the atmosphere, obviously you can float. I mean, you can go in. There's commercial places that'll take you up, and you can experience zero G right now, without even going in space. But the Virgin Galactic's probably going to be the most economical option. Obviously, SpaceX has space tourism. There's Blue Origin. There's a lot of different options that are coming on. So. Hopefully within the next couple of years, space tourism is going to be a lot more accessible, although it's still going to be a while before I can afford it. But
wow. Me too.
Right. But God bless those that can. And actually, there's already been multiple space tourists that have gone up with the Russians. There's a company out of Florida called Space Adventures that they'd buy time on a Soyuz rocket. I don't know if you know the guy. Actually, he grew up here in Clear Lake. He was the son of an astronaut that was in the Skylab. Garriott's the last name. He's the creator of the Doom. The game Doom.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
he went up in space.
That's crazy.
There's a couple other famous people. At one point, Lance Bass was going to go up in space back.
I remember hearing about Bass.
Yeah. So there's Space Adventures. I was actually back 20 years ago. Yeah, probably about 20 years ago. I was trying to work out a commission structure to market it here locally, but whatever.
Well, the time is here again, man.
Right. No, we're with
coming in hot.
Yeah, Axiom Aerospace. I mean, there's a bunch of other startups. There's Gosh, there's NanoRacks that's been flying. They're based here in Webster. They've been flying up space experiments. They've been basically buying space in this space station.